Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Allison and welcome to my channel. This is Green Goddess Plant Seeds and Stitching, where I share our adventures in gardening and my adventures in crafting and cross stitch. And well, welcome to a garden chat. This is probably gonna be the last sort of live outdoor garden chat that I do for this season. As you can see, the garden is pretty much done. Today is Monday, October 6th. There's not a lot left in the garden here. We got a little bit of Swiss chard. There's some dill. This is some broccoli that's gone to seed on us, so kind of pretty. We've had some decent weather, all things considered, for October. But we have had a little bit of frost here and there. But the forecast for tonight is for some hard frost. I think the forecasted overnight low tonight is supposed to be -2 degrees Celsius, which doesn't sound like much, but when that is sustained over a few hours, it can damage everything. But most things are done. We've just been doing some cleanup, doing some last minute picking. We've started putting a cover on the hoop house because that's where all the pumpkins are, so we have to finish that tonight so that we can put some heat on in there for those. The garden is pretty much done. Yeah. So I've spent most of this past weekend picking. Basically, I've been combing through all of our pepper plants, pulling off anything that might be usable or that we might be able to sell, and then pulling out the plants. We've got a lot. We grew these Italian-style sweet peppers, so they're kind of long and pointy. Oh my goodness! If our growing season would just even a couple of weeks, 3 weeks longer, they were just loaded with peppers. It was so nice. But I've sort of been doing the same thing with the tomatoes, although the tomatoes, most of them, I'm just going to let them freeze down. Like, there's only so much that we can use ourselves. And of course, right now, if people are buying, they're buying the traditional red processing tomatoes. So anything that's not that is just, I'm just going to let it go. I did pull off a couple of buckets worth of cherry tomatoes. I have already pulled off a couple of buckets of red tomatoes. I'll probably go through do one more comb through. I know there is a variety out here called Black Ruffles. I wanted to pull some of those off for myself, basically to maybe make a sauce out of. But basically, they're done. Like, if I were to flip the camera around, you'd be able to tell that they're done. Like, there's some plants that have nothing on them anymore. Our zucchinis are done. They've been hit pretty hard with the frost. Corn is done. We had a couple of good pickings off it, but yeah, that's done. And I'll take you in here and I'll show you the pumpkins. All right, so this is our hoop house. And we started putting a cover on it. We still have to finish it, the sides on, and then set up a heater in here. I know Glenn's got a diesel powered heater that he can set up in here. But yeah, we've got our pumpkins covered. So there's some pie pumpkins, but we got some big ones. We got some really nice sized big ones. There's at least 2 or 3 nice big, I would say probably 50-pounders down here. Let's take a look under here. I think the big ones are down here. There are some nice ones in here. Oh yeah, there we go. A couple of nice big ones. But yeah, then this is why we have pulled everything off. Why we don't leave anything in the field for people to go and harvest themselves is because the frosts are coming, and there's no way we would be able to save any of this if it was still out in the field. So, and we're small enough that we can still pull stuff in. I'll probably do a video on the weekend. This weekend coming up is the Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. And on Friday the 10th is the last farmers market. So the markets will be done. And then Saturday the 11th, we are having our pumpkin sale, which is the other reason why we've got everything gathered up together here. Let's see if I can't take this cover off, just to give you a quick peek underneath here. There we go. Some heirloom pumpkins in there. Yeah, so it's been a good run for the garden in spite of everything that happened. The dry weather that we had didn't help, but we managed. We did. It forced us to invest in some drip tape irrigation, which definitely it was a lifesaver. There's no way we could have watered everything in here or in the garden. So, but yes, it's winding down. It's time to put everything away. We have garlic that we were hoping to plant. I know Glenn wanted to put it in here just outside the hoop house. So that all has to get cleaned up and the soil worked. We've ordered garlic. We ordered some garlic from Bessie's. But yeah, it's held up in transit for obvious reasons. The Canada Post strike is not helping. So, but we did buy some garlic from a local guy, so we could at least put some of that in. And then hopefully, if the stuff from Bessie's ever shows up, maybe might still be able to put it in the ground. We'll see. So Glenn's got the pumps running. We're trying to drain all the tanks and drain all of the pumps and stuff that we've got, because if we do get down to that -2 tonight, that's enough to cause damage to not just the plants, but to the pumps and the equipment and stuff like that too. So we do have a bit of cabbage. There's a little bit of cabbage left out here. Not a lot. Most of it's Savoy cabbage. I had put in some of this what they call fractal cauliflower, or Romanesco. It goes by Romanesco, but sadly most of it hasn't done anything. And this is it here. I was really hoping. I think there's one head in here, which I should probably pull off today sometime. Isn't that pretty? But only one head. That's too bad. I was hoping for more. Well, that one started. Well, if it survives the frost, we might be able to leave some of this. But it'll eventually all have to go, so we can get all the cleanup done. But we lost a lot of cabbage because they split. We didn't pick them quick enough, which is unfortunate, but whatever. We still have lots. We still have lots that we've picked that we haven't sold. There's some small ones. There's some red cabbage. This is the Savoy, which is taking a very, very long time to get ready. It's last week when I picked it. It could be picked, but a lot of it just seems to be very, very taking a longer than what I expected. Some nice big heads in here, though. That one's not ready. That still has some give to it. Sometimes with this Savoy, I find it hard because the nature of the leaves makes them kind of squishy. We'll have to see what happens, I guess. But yeah, so this is probably going to be the last outdoor garden update. I'll probably do a year-end review, maybe at the end of the month, end of October, for Samhain, because Samhain is the end of the agricultural year. End of the harvest. Last of the harvest festivals is Samhain, Halloween. But yes, all things considered, we've had a good run. All of the markets that we've done this summer were good markets. We sold lots of stuff there. Very, very good markets. In spite of the challenges, we had good markets. And then, of course, once the farmers market is done, we go straight into holiday Christmas markets. So no veggies, but it means that we have to get busy in the kitchen and start making stuff, because we've pretty much sold out of all of our jams and jellies and stuff like that. I've already been busy making Christmas cakes, so it'll be a job and a half in itself. So this is the last of the garden, our autumn garden. The sun's nice and shining, but it's not a very warm day out here. So it's October and it's time to put things to bed. So yes, so thank you for joining me. I just thought I'd give you this last quick update for the garden. Yeah, it's been a good run. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably do a year of season end review there at the end of the month. And that'll be it for the garden 2025. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Do take care. Have a good week. We'll talk to you again soon.